Hey everybody, good morning. Just woke up. Got Charlie here hanging out with me. Just had some quick breakfast nice and early so that way I can kind of digest it a little bit before our long run. I don't think I ever really talked too much about what I ate before I went on a long run. So today, you may know, you may not know, 10 miles in the books for today that we've got to do in our training plan for the New York City Half Marathon. And this morning I just had some really plain oatmeal. So here's the oatmeal that I was having this morning, as well as just a small like espresso shots worth of coffee. So that's all I really had this morning. As far as like gels and things that I'll bring on the run, don't really need to bring any gels for a 10 miler, just not for me. No water or anything for today. I should be fine out on the road for about an hour and 30 to an hour and 40 minutes without any gels or water. Got to walk Charlie here, and then we'll head out to the nice paved trail and get our run in. So let's get going today. All right, it's about 20 degrees today, so I look a little bit like a crazy person in all these layers, but just trying to stay warmer during this 10-mile run. We are the only ones out here in this parking lot today. Doesn't look like anyone else wants to brave the cold. Today's gonna be a pretty flat route. What I wanna do over the next 2 weeks after this, where I still kind of increase the miles of my long run, I wanna go for this part of the trail where there's just this long gradual increase in elevation, which I think will be pretty similar to some parts of the New York City half course, which will have, you know, long elevation gains over the bridge, or even just long sections of elevation between like the FDR on the east side and the middle of Times Square up to Central Park, where it's just gradually going uphill. So there's a lot of spots where I think that'll benefit me over the next 2 weeks, but right now it's going to be pretty flat. And got a couple other things to say, but let's get going and we'll do it on the run because it is you know, getting a little bit later in the morning. So luckily the snow yesterday didn't build up on this path. We still have clear concrete ahead of us. The only unfortunate thing is kind of the sides where I like to run on the dirt is covered in snow and probably some ice. So probably be fully on pavement today and not on any dirt trails. But again, at least it's nice and clear. So for me, these longer runs are some of the most important runs that I can put into my training block, or even just into my regular running regimen as I want to progress as a runner. I'll probably start putting in much more 10-mile plus runs on the weekends, even just as a base build throughout the spring and summer, as we get towards then increasing the mileage even more for the fall marathon season. But I just really see a lot of benefit when I start running long, slow distances over 10 miles. It's more so than the speed work. It's more so than track work or the threshold miles. It's that long mileage, at least for me, when I'm racing things like 10K, half marathon, full marathon distances. So definitely want to get back to that. Even though I'm seeing good progress already in the training block, I want to see what comes out of these last 3 weeks when I have 10 11 and 12 plus mile long runs while we're getting ready for the race. I have to say I'm much more comfortable today. I think it was just the wind from yesterday was whipping around and really made it uncomfortable on my face and I guess my hands a little bit, but today, even though I think it's colder right now, it's pretty calm, so it's actually not bad. I'm a little warm in this jacket. I've said it before, it's not a very breathable jacket. It more of a souvenir than much more than a technical piece of equipment. All right, hey everybody, we had a busy day today. It's actually the evening now, even though I went for a run earlier in the morning. I actually also went on a 1 mile walk since going for my run. We had family coming over today, so I got home from my run around 11 o'clock this morning, and they were coming around 11:30, so we just jumped into doing stuff with them, and I'm just kind of breaking down the run and everything now at the end of the day. Everything was pretty much built in like a progression run. It wasn't necessarily designed that way in the training plan for the New York City half, but once I started moving, I started to progress pretty quickly, just building a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster through each of the 10 miles, and then plateaued around like I'd say 8:55 per mile for the last 3 miles. So let's take a look right now. The overall pace was 9:23 per mile. So again, definitely quicker for me, especially for the longer distances. The reason that I was okay with this was, today's meant to be a day of hard work in my legs. I'm usually more hesitant of going fast on the days that I know are my true recovery days. So it's a good balance. I always want to make sure that my easy days are really easy, but a day that's going to be putting 10 miles in my legs, I'm okay pushing myself just a little bit. So again, that's where I kind of landed at an average of 9:23 per mile for the 10-mile run today. Heart rate wasn't bad though, only around 145 beats per minute, again for the average of the whole run. So let's take a little bit closer look at each mile. We started at 9:54, quickly dropped down by mile 4 to about 9:35, and then you can see again by 8, 9, and 10 it's about 8:56, 8:55, 8:58, and my heart rate was just kind of getting to the high 150s and even just touching 160 as an average, again as I got towards those 10 miles at about a 9-minute per mile pace. So still manageable, still not too bad, still felt pretty comfortable out there today. So my goal wasn't to really work way too hard, but just to still be comfortable and let the pace kind of push itself a little bit throughout the course of a longer distance. Again, it's just something like that I like to do, is finish strong and still within reason for a given workout. So with that said, that's everything. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you had a good run this weekend. Hope you had a good long run or race if you did have one. But yeah, so that's everything. I hope to see you in the next video.